Now we're going to start with some breaking news here in the Denver metro area in the Aurora theater shooting case. A judge has entered a not guilty plea for James Holmes.
And this after his lawyer said they were not ready to enter a plea. 7 News reporter Marshall Zelinger just steps outside from the courtroom and has the latest for us. Marshall?
Mitch, Holmes' defense attorney Daniel King told the judge, quote, he could not ethically tell the court he was ready to go. The judge then ruled that there was not good cause to continue to delay this arraignment and entered a plea on Holmes' behalf, not guilty, period. Now, for the first time in 8 months, we have new video of James Holmes inside the courtroom. I've been inside the court throughout the entire process, and what you're seeing is about as unkempt as I've seen him throughout the last 8 months. Poofy, curly hair and a long, thick beard. Now, James Holmes' parents sat in front of me in the courtroom. They did not react when the judge entered the plea on his behalf. Holmes can still change his plea to not guilty by reason of insanity, but the judge will have to approve that at a later court date. Today, we also learned that District Attorney George Brockler will determine if Holmes will face the death penalty on April 1st. There will be a court date on April 1st where we will hear if he faces death. Now, within the last 20 minutes, we spoke with the family of one of the victims, Jonathan Blanc. His cousin, Jessica Watts, let us know how she's accepting all of these new details.
I'm trying to remain reserved. That way I don't get my hopes up or down. That he's, so one way or the other.
That seems to be the reaction we're receiving from a lot of the victims. Assuming there is no change in the plea, that it would remain not guilty, the judge set some trial dates already. They are anticipating a 4-week trial. A date starting August 5th has been set aside. However, if Holmes changes his plea to not guilty by reason of insanity, that would not happen. He would then get sent to one of the state mental health institutions to be reviewed by psychiatrists. Reporting live in Arapahoe County, Marshall Zelinger, 7 News.
We appreciate the update. Thanks, Marshall. We appreciate that.
So now we want to bring in our legal analyst and former Colorado State public defender, Dan Recht, to talk about this plea. First thing that strikes us, how often does this happen where a judge enters the plea for the defense?
Not very often. I mean, the defense here said they're not ready to enter a plea. They asked for more time. The judge was feeling impatient and said, I'm not giving you more time, and if you won't enter a plea, I'll enter it for you. But a not guilty plea, as opposed to not guilty by reason of insanity.
So what difference does this make, Dan? Why would the judge want to enter the plea on his behalf as opposed to letting the defense have a little more time? They said they might be ready in April or in May.
The judge just wants to move things along. Whether he's right or wrong, he wants to keep things moving, and he's not willing to postpone things for another 60 days. The defense, on the other hand, may well not have been prepared to enter a plea of not guilty by reason of insanity, because that plea triggers an examination by a state-ordered examination, usually in the state hospital, and the defense seemingly wasn't ready to subject their client, Mr. Holmes, to that process.
So we heard Marshall say that the defense does have the opportunity to change that plea, but do they have to show something to the court in order to make that happen?
They do. They can't just change the plea. They have to show the judge that they have good cause, and that's the term in the statute, good cause to change the plea. I suspect, I'm confident they will change their plea to not guilty by reason of insanity, and frankly, I think the judge will be put in a position where he has to accept that plea and trigger the examination that will happen thereafter.
So what do you expect to happen next? What's the next step in this whole process for all the people who are waiting for this to move along?
Well, the judge set these hearings and a trial date. Those aren't going to happen. At some point, I would say in the next 30 days or so, you're going to hear from the defense that they want to enter the plea of not guilty by reason of insanity. I believe the judge, as I said, will be forced to take that plea, and then the process will be this examination at the state hospital.
So since this doesn't happen that frequently, could that be the grounds? By this, I mean the judge entering the plea. Could that be grounds for an appeal later on?
Yeah, it could. I mean, the defense is feeling, somebody's life is on the line, Holmes, and they weren't ready to enter a plea, and the judge forced them to enter a plea. So that potentially raises appellate issues that could be raised, a year or two from now after a trial.
So it could very well be part of the defense strategy to push the judge, to set things up for an appeal.
It could be, but you have to accept the defense attorney at his word. He said he wasn't ethically ready to enter a plea because they weren't ready to make that decision.
How big a factor do you think were the decisions yesterday about the client, the suspect, being allowed to take medication for a psychiatric examination and also to be exposed to a polygraph test? Do you think they played into the defense decision not to enter a plea?
I do. See, the defense just got that order from the court yesterday, which specifically said an examination can force the defendant to take drugs in preparation for this exam. And the defense might well be trying to determine how that plays into their defense and want to talk to their own experts before they plead not guilty by reason of insanity and trigger the examination that could require the forced taking of drugs.
All right. Dan
Very
Recht,
interesting.
Yeah, we thank you. And we'll be turning to you again as this continues to take its course. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Dan. And